Hello, everybody. My name is Notepad, and I write games for fun. So what are we doing today? Well, today we're going to be doing something a little bit more interesting. We're going to be doing the count. Yes, God bless the count. You may be wondering, what is the count? What are we counting today? What is this entire stream about? Well, this stream is going to be about the Obsession Project. Yes, the Notepad Anon Obsession Project. You're not supposed to be here. Go away, Manly. You're not supposed to be here. Let's swap you out for a completely different Manly for this situation. The final count? No. It's just for the final round, because the one secret is that I'm not going to be here for the final count. Yeah, you gotta remember that. I'm not actually going to be here for about a week. I am leaving for my trip on Thursday, and I will be getting back on Wednesday. Quite literally, the results will not be in until the 30th. So, I decided that let's do the second to last round. Let's do the life round today. Let's do it. Now, there's a few things that happened here. A few things that I feel are as important. A few things that I feel that are important are, well, we had some voter fraud go down. You might see these numbers and say, wow, those numbers look pretty extreme. Yes, there was some voter fraud that occurred. And that voter fraud threw out every single one of the proletariat vote. Yep, every single one of the proletariat's votes got thrown out. The only ones that mattered were people who paid. You may be saying, Notepad, that's not very fair. And I say, well, you shouldn't have tried to rig the vote. I don't know who did it. I don't know why they did it. All I know is that they did it. And because they did it, the entire vote of the proletariat was thrown out, and now we must rely on the patrons. And we're going to do that. We're going to rely on the patrons right now and calculate all our votes. So let's do the count. So our first one. This is the exciting horse race content that you're coming here for. This is the content that you want out of the Notepad Anon Experience Requiem. And no, you're not going to be able to see the actual voters, because I find that much funnier. We're just going to do this agonizingly slow. There's no efficient way of doing this, because I don't want there to be an efficient way of doing this. I want you all to watch and slowly appreciate the ever so slight... Oh, we've got a Manly. Have no fear, everyone. Maho Shoujo Manly will help us out. Yes, it did, Solid. Yes, it in fact did. We'll be counting up the later plutocratic votes after we get done here. We have to do the count, though. Let's see. Let's dun. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. This is the content that you desire. Okay. So here we go. Here is the final patron count. This is the final count of the let's do the I need to do the very specific count. So we ended up with an anonymous donation of $45 dues. So let me sort this out to be as correct as possible. All right. So we need to do. Now you may be wondering, Notepad, what are you doing? Why did you put 12 there? And then that would bring it up to. You know, that would be 46 to. That would be 45 minus 12, so it would be 33 votes to 95 votes went to flag bearer based off the last indication, and then we had 60 votes, 60 whole dollars here to go to here. Yep, congratulations everybody, democracy wins again. Democracy wins again, everybody. Let's congratulate our winners. See, solid. Let's congratulate our winners. Otherwise known as, if we go to here, Metal Saviors. It is the final showdown at this point. The final ultimate showdown of Cruciform versus Metal Saviors. Flagbearer loses in the 11th hour. 6 pings from Horus. Well, sorry everyone, that's the count. The bratty toaster dies. So we have our final fight for supremacy. In life, we find what real death is. Our final war for the war for the pocket ends on Cruciform versus Metal Saviors. We've got R2 based entirely off of plutocratic principles. Sexy nuns versus mechs. Yes, congratulations. It is sexy nuns versus mechs. Seems Metal Saviors might just win out of spite. Maybe. Cruciform and Flagbearer have been fighting the good fight. Don't know how it would happen. I personally am for either. But I also believe in plutocratic ideals. So, spend money as you will, of your own volition. However, this is not strictly about who wins. This is a question. This is a little bit of a question and answer. It was a question and answer situation, and questions and answers are fun and exciting. Let me post the results here real fast, just so people know the current results. that people that should make sure that people understand. No. Or just not now everyone knows. But I'm never one to pass up a good. I know how to pass up a good time. So this is a question for everybody. I want it. Does anyone have questions on our two winners? This is important to know. Do we have any? Do we have any questions on our two winners here? Because at the end of the day, this is going to be our final ultimate showdown. It is going to be between Cruciform and Metal Saviors. Cruciform, if we find democracy. Let me see. Why should Metal Saviors win? Because Metal Saviors is a mech game that's pretty cool. Amount of time it's been since you wrote such a pitch document. Have you found anyone to do Metal Saviors art? No, not really. The closest I've been able to find, let me find it. It's where is it? Let me see. Let me see if I can find it. In Cruciform. Let me see. There's a handful of different Scribble mentioned an artist. When I say a artist, let me see if I can find. Let me see if I can find the exact one. They mentioned their one Malaysian friend. Or at least one European friend or something like that, not American, who mentioned they do tactical, they do artwork on that. Doesn't work yeah, do the freezing conventional fuel doesn't work. This works on sci-fi bullshit. We do have an idea. They don't work as well with mechs. I couldn't see any of their mech stuff. This was mostly what was slated for Iron Caskets. Let me see if I can find the mech guy. There was one person talking about mechs, doing mech art, but mech art is a very specific term. Very specific thing, and it's, let me see if we can find. Where is it? Couldn't find it. Yeah, there's a handful of people for when it comes to that artwork. I hope Fluxing gets the job for Metal Saviors. I saw his mech stuff. Absolutely not. When he says, this is my mech stuff, and I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at, I was like, damn, I have no idea what I'm looking at here, and then walked away. Let's see, do we have any other questions? Why should Metal Saviors win? Because it's in spitball, vague guesstimate. How much art do you think each of them would need? And ballparked, how much do you think you would have to crowdfund that much? So, if we're really looking at it, let's here's Metal Saviors, here's Eudusis Lux. Final page count for Cruciform. If I'm being really, really technical with doing a final page count for Cruciform, we're looking at about 90 pages. We're looking at about 90, maybe 100 pages if I really push it. It's a little bit hard to guesstimate art at that point. It would be based on the fact that I already have an artist lined up. With that, I feel a little bit more confident when it comes to things, because Steve Man is relatively decent when it comes to his art. When it comes to his pricing anyway, those are just, oh, no, can't show that. Nope, can't show that. Oh, Steve Man. Oh, no. Steve Man. I forgot. I forgot Steve Man's just been reposting porn for the past 20 hours. Oh, can't show that on my Christian image board now, can I? So, generally speaking, how to get a good estimate on something like that. Metal Saviors, if I'm looking at it, Metal Saviors will need more. It will need a lot more. However, generally speaking, the back half of Metal Saviors won't need as much. It's just that every single one of the mechs will need a draw. Because every mech is technically a unique entity. They will need each individually kind of a draw up. I kind of have some very basic ideas of what they're supposed to look like. Because they're effectively Vonzers. A little bit easier said than done though, and it's... If we're looking at the more expensive product, Metal Saviors is a more expensive product. However, there's a counterpoint there. Metal Saviors can be entirely black and white, and I don't think anyone would really. I would need probably 2 artists for Metal Saviors. I can probably rely posting porn on Twitch. If I'm being really technical, I could rely pretty much exclusively on... No, thank you very much, Bobby, as always. Kissu, kissu. If we want to be... I could pretty much rely on Steve Man for all of the art in Cruciform. I would have to rely on maybe 2 to 3 artists for all of Metal Saviors. So hopefully that answers that question. You want me to write Wraith the RPG? Oh God. Lord Almighty. God help us all. So... Jesus, democracy at its finest. Give me 1 second. I must gaslight my people. But yeah, any questions that you are any questions, any concerns, any anything that you want to know about these. I am all ears. This is questions and answers, and this is to assuage fears, or can I kill Solid? No. This is to assuage fears or get support for things that you want support for. Now is the time to ask questions about either of them. Generally speaking, both are the protected classes always. I will pay you $5 to let me kill Solid. Why do you people want to kill Solid that badly? Solid just exercised his plutocratic ideals. The cat saying I'm all ears. You fucked the vote up. You could have fucked the vote up too, but you didn't vote. What can I say? I'm all ears. What's the plutocratic ideal? I will pay $100. No, 60. He was behind the bot all along. After all, it was Cruciform. Clearly, it is his fault. In terms of the free hand of the market value, which game do you think has more potential? That is where things get really complicated. This is where things get really complicated, Virgo. If we're looking strictly at something like Metal Saviors is, if we're looking at this, so this is the marketability. Metal Saviors Pro, it is a mech game. Unironically, mech games have a better chance. People know mechs, and mech games are popular, so just putting mech in various things will get eyes. This is also a problem as well. I am entering a harsh market with Metal Saviors. However, I haven't really seen many games attempt to do front mission, which this game is about. It is front mission with a very specific thing. Otherwise known as, I can appeal to front mission fans. Unironically, that is a valuable note. It is a front mission game. It may look different, but it's going to play like front mission. That's the point. Strictly other, it does have crunch to it, and some people really like that, but this is also going to be a turn off to some people. That comes to a note. Overall, Metal Saviors is where we would be positioning Metal Saviors as an autistic niche product. And that's the big thing. It's an autistic niche product. However, autistic niche products have their advantages and have their disadvantages. Cruciform, on the other hand, Cruciform is a entirely unique system. It uses the beat system, however, benefit, weird anime premise. It is an exotic premise. At the end of the day, it does have an exotic premise. That's going to drag eyes on it a lot more than it's a mech game. At the end of the day, Metal Saviors doesn't really have anything outside of it is a mech game. This one is, we have this. Generally speaking, it has that kind of that premise, and again, it's the idea that sex does sell. Sex does sell, and there's going to be people who are going to look at it being like, okay, I know exactly what you're looking for here, which also means we have Steve Mann to indirectly promote. Steve Mann's got a following. Steve Mann knows various people, and because we have another avenue to shill, and that is a valid thing to think about. It's Steve Mann. We have Steve Mann to promote. Because it is an entirely unique system, we risk controversy. We risk controversy with Cruciform. However, this may be a beneficial thing. Depending on who we go through and what we plan on doing, That may be a benefit, that may be a drawback. It kind of depends on the circumstances. So, at the end of the day, we're also looking at an autistic niche product. Both of them have potential to do things. Both of them both would be targeting very different markets. One has a larger market, but that is it is in a saturated market. The other has a smaller market, but has a much more fanatical one with a lot less in it. So it's kind of one of those, what's the ideal outcome? Complexity of the reworks. How long do you think each would run? How extreme would rewrite be would they call for? Generally speaking, Metal Saviors is going to need to get a hacksaw to some things, and we're going to need to run it a few more times to dedicate how things are going to work in it. We're going to chop off some limbs, and we're going to remajigger the limbs. We are effectively going to be turning this game into exactly what I want it to be, without compromises. On the other hand, we're also going to be removing, most likely we are going to be removing the clans in their entirety. We're going to be most likely removing, like, mercenaries even. It's just going to be the Empire, and it is just going to be the Federation that are going to be available. When it comes to, like, raw reworks, this one's going to take a while because of how bulky it is. But I don't think there's going to be a lot of rewriting, if that makes sense. Going to be a lot of tweaking and retweaking to get little numbers, get 1s and 2s correct, but nothing more, nothing less there. Cruciform is going to get a full redux. This would technically be the second redux of this game. It's getting a larger redux just for adding a lot more things, recontextualizing a lot of things, making the math work a little bit better, adding some things that need to be added. Pretty much what I want to do is I want to make Eoducius Lux 2, well, 3, better. We're going to make this game a lot bigger, a lot bulkier, a lot more options, and a lot more toys to play with. All of those toys and all of those things are going to be things we have to add on later. Both are going to need some extensive testing. It is harder to test, say, Metal Saviors, though, versus Cruciform. Because Cruciform is, at its core, an episodic game. You run it as episodic, you do things, fine, cool, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Metal Saviors is more campaign play, and because it's more campaign play, you're going to have to run longer time to get the best feeling out of things. It is a process, if that makes sense. Both of them are going to take time to rewrite, but in very different contexts. I think I can get done. Here's the thing. Given raw numbers and time, I can get Cruciform done by the end of the year. Is this a promise? Is this an oath? No. Is this a rough estimate? Yeah. Metal Saviors? I don't know. That's where things start getting a little bit messier. Let's see. What would be your dream game to write? If you could have no financial, moral, or ethical considerations. That one's a hard one. Because there is a lot of... There's a lot of games I would like to write, and there's a lot of games that if I had infinite money, infinite time, there's always that back and forth of what you want to make the perfect game or whatever. I don't think there's like exactly one game that I would want. Hence the reason I kind of left this up to a vote to begin with, which was I didn't know what I would want. Because every game has its problems, every game has its benefits, every game has what I would want to do with it. Generally speaking, as much as I could have possibly wanted to do, generally it was going to come down to either Metal Saviors, because Metal Saviors is my white whale, that I will slay because I am Ahab. Or it would most likely come down to one of the really, really stranger game ideas I've had. Rifts 2 and shit like that, but yeah. Alright, so, I like the mercs though. Albeit without an economic system, mercs are odd. In general, feel like the game lacks a bit of that economical bit though, even if it's soft rather than hard one. It's one of the ideas behind Metal Saviors is that you are specifically in a war, in a military situation. Therefore, I didn't like, why bother having money? If I was really going to add in something like that, it was going to be like requisition points. I think I muse about requisition points. Like, it's simply due to the fact of like, it's hard to bring up money in games like this because like why do we care about money? Why do we care about money in a game about being at war and having a conflict there? Amuro didn't worry about his paycheck. Mercs, see, but that's also a benefit. What we can do later, which is part of the expansion opportunities when it comes to Metal Saviors, is not indirectly adding them back in, but adding that as a more compelling option of dealing with the Mech Warrior Poverty Simulator. That is a good yeah, that is a good expansion opportunity. That's kind of also the reason, like, albeit if I recall correctly, Front Mission did have some money stuff. Front Mission sort of had it. Like, if we're really being like the thing with Front Mission money, you have to remember, is Front Mission money is because we are playing a video game. That is and it is the context in which Front Mission takes place that demands you understand how the money works. It's one of those very strange, it's a very context-driven situation rather than a kind of a broader situation that we would be dealing with. Because that's me. That's me. Again, that's one of those things what we would most likely have to double check in and probably add some features for, with things like money and things like resources. Being a little bit more specific. Yes. It's really fucking hot in my room. I actually set up my fan, but my fan is in my my AC is in my living room. Because if the living room is cool, then the rest of my house gets more cool. So it's the compromise point. Luckily, it's getting colder out. Luckily, it's getting darker out. Therefore, it's getting a little cooler out. So. But yes. Generally speaking, those are the two. Those are our two games. Those are, both of them have a. Both of them are roughly the same when it comes to what they're actually doing. The problem is both of them have the same issues. Both of them require a different amount of work to solve those issues. And it's just a time sink. That is just one of those things we have to sit down and we just have to work on. It's going to be time consuming. It's going to be very compromising. It is going to be a fun and exciting adventure for the whole family, where people will sit and watch me lose my mind as I drink myself to death working on both of these. So it'll be great. It's great. But yes. Ooh. Ah, yes. Any further questions, comments, concerns? Actually, you know what? Here's what I'll do. Also, not to disregard financial draining, considering the actual art going into them. Yes. Oh, trust me. Pump metal saviors. Looking at the serious question in that regard. Do you think you'll set up some sort of crowdfunding? Oh, yes, the infinite question, crowdfunding and all that shit. Well, there's a few ways of handling it. Mm. Just people are posting cringe in my server as usual. Everyone's just clowning on Solid as usual, however. So, when it comes to that, well, I don't know yet. I'm gonna be brutally honest with you. I do not know that. Generally speaking, your Kickstarter, your backer kits, probably not backer kit to be honest. There's itch funding. There's Indiegogo. Indiegogo, and I believe there's another one. Generally speaking, if we are going to be kickstarting one of these, I will say that I'm using the term kickstarting, but you get the idea. Crowdfunding and all that. Cruciform, Cruciform will be cheaper. Will be cheaper in general because at the end of the day, it's going to be a smaller book. It's smaller, but it is just generally a smaller book, which we can rely a lot more on black and white art. Black and white art, we can make it a thinny. We can make it a thinny book and things like that. We can make that pretty easy. We have some incentives to kind of get to. We can kind of use that. Metal Saviors, on the other hand, is going to be more expensive because it's just going to be a larger book. However, it is also going to be we're going to stick with black and white art for a vast majority of this. But that's kind of the nature of the beast. Will we be using this? Most likely, I will most likely fund at least 3 to 5 pieces personally. If we are going to go down the crowdfunding route. if we do go down the crowdfunding route, we'll have to budget things out a little bit more. Again, really depends on how things go of what we want to budget that out. It's hard to get a good estimate on that because Cruciform will be getting more pages. Metal Saviors will probably be getting more pages. And there's just a lot more stuff going on for both of those. So it's hard to get like a strict one. Will we be setting up a crowdfunding thing? Maybe. Maybe not. It really depends. Because one of the things that you have to understand about crowdfunding is not about the funding. It's about the advertisement. We go fast enough. If we go fast enough and we hit our numbers better, we get the things slapped on there and we get news articles and we generally hit our stride a lot better. And that means more money comes out and that means more shit gets put out, yada, yada, yada. If crowdfunding fails, on the other hand, well, that's where things start getting a little bit complicated. It does not help that it's me. I'm not going to lie when I say that. It does not help that it is in fact me. There's a part of me, I'm not going to lie, Sterner, there is a part of me that wants AP Blaine to do this, that does not want Notepad Anon. It's one of those situations where it would be... We're very much hiding who we are. We would be masquerading our content. On the other hand, we would be using we would be how do I want to word this? Notepad Anon would be pulling the strings of AP Blaine as a sick marionette. The normies will see AP Blaine. Our fellow schizos will know that it is I, the Notepad Anon, Master Extraordinaire, a Lilith Cohen situation, effectively. It will be a little bit more complicated because it is me, and you can associate the names with these pretty easily. Hello, Lord Caven. But yeah, that's the ups and downs. That's why going with something like, for example, itch funding is technically, how do I want to word this? Easier to do. Because technically, they would know it's me, but people don't really think about it too much with itch funding. The problem is getting seen. So what is this heresy? Democracy, my friend. The democratic principle has put us down to two things. We've got Metal Saviors, a mech role-playing game about getting in giant robots and blowing each other up, and Cruciform, a game about being stylish Christian role-playing, where you beat the shit out of Satan using the power of thrash metal and devil may cry. And also everyone is effectively a pornographic nun. Why? Because fuck you, I can do that. I have a porn artist who is very enthusiastic to work on it. You see, a coup might have happened. A coup d'etat. God bless. But, yes. Hopefully hopefully that answers your question a little bit. I would literally need to sit down with members of the inner circle, which unironically I will probably be doing tonight. We will discuss it and see if I can't get a better idea out. Coom nuns are cringe, but Coom Mecha? Everyone spot the Transformers fan. So the proletariat vote going to continue, but will require us to forfeit our freedom in exchange for the vote? Yes. Next round, the Velvet round. Congratulations, everyone. because someone, because someone shat in the soup, everyone must now surrender their personal identifying information for my email list. And because because remember, democracy demands sacrifice, and we love the democratic process. We are not doing Kumex. No. No Kumex. That is not this game. Oh, log Notepad while doing the voting fraud. Hey, I'll have you know, it was not a false flag attack. Go further than Tom Lancer, who only watched NGE. Claim your only mecha experience is reading NGE dojins. Sorry, everybody, but my only experience to mechs were the hardcore erotic dojins featuring them. I mean, effectively, I mean... Sorry, it was a Xanatos Gambit. See, that's the beautiful thing. I could just cite, this like, Gundam has a little bit of influence on Metal Saviors. I could just say, yes, I'm an exquisite Gundam fan, as you know, and then bring up the hardcore Char X Amuro, Yaoi Doujins. As you can tell, I'm quite expert at my craft. But yes, that is... Let's see, do we have any, no, mostly people, wishing death upon Solid. Yeah, that seems to be the current... Yeah, everyone seems to be, yes, everyone seems to be wanting to kill one another because of that. A Notepad of ultra culture, because like the idea, this is the thing with Metal Saviors. Is Metal Saviors? It's first in like there's quite a few influences with this game, but probably the most prominent one. Of just how I chose to wrote a lot of it actually was Legend of the Galactic Heroes. Do you see these boys here? Do you see these beautiful boys here? Yeah, welcome to 95% of the lore of Metal Saviors. It was literally just this. And using my goal for using like Legend of the Galactic Heroes, because I can never escape Legend of the Galactic Heroes. Great fucking everything. It is vaguely attractive men, not even like really attractive men, because we'd be using specifically the OVAs, because we would not be using the newer one. I do not like the newer one. I don't like the look of it. It looks too clean. I like the fact that everyone looks not, perfect. Reinhardt looks like a pretty man compared to everyone else, because Reinhardt is in fact a pretty man. Yes, but that's kind of the this is our main inspiration. So yeah, it's not like sorry, we're not having coom ladies. Yeah, so it's one of those things where it's like, it wouldn't even be like super attractive ladies. It would be gruff men in their 20s to 30s, all looking vaguely intimidating at one another, all while posing dramatically and or not being super attractive but pretending they are attractive. That's the secret, everybody. Legend of the Galactic Heroes. But yes, it's this is what I mean. Like, I need a really specific art. Yeah, it's no coon ladies, all coon maestros. Damn straight. Again, we need to appeal to a new audience. Too many sexy women. We need to appeal to the female audience. Give them sexy men. Yes, the Fujo market. But let's see. Everyone joining hands singing songs of how they want Solid's head on a pike. Common enemy joins everyone, even the racists in the room. Metal Savior, as in Savior, as in Jesus Christ, it's already there. This was trolling. The thing is, and I kind of explained, like, oh well, why didn't you like Flagbearer so much? What was the issue with Flagbearer? My doubts on Flagbearer were pretty strong to begin with. Because Flagbearer, I got burnt out really hard on Flagbearer. But for a variety of reasons, just because I worked so much on it. It is a truly massive fucking game. It is a truly massive game. The problem is, and I realized this very quickly, is that I was going to have to get rid of huge chunks of the, like, pretty much everything about Caliburn, I would have to get rid of. And I say, Notepad, why would you need to get rid of all the stuff on Caliburn? Because I would need to make it more sellable. Like, this was just a, like, oh, well, here's something vaguely correct. Pretty much everything there would need to get removed. This game would need extensive testing and fixing and tweaking, because there's a lot of eyeglassing with this game. That is one of the core problems, you could say, with Flagbearer. There's a lot of eyeglassing, where you look at it being like, okay, maybe this needs to be 1, 2, or maybe this needs to be 2, 1. Does he have 14 HP? Does he have 13 HP? And it would be a lot of that. It would be a lot of just little things. It does not help that this game would be extensively art heavy. That's why I gave a really rough estimate, being like, this game would not be done till it would be about a year before this game has a minimal viable product. Easy. It would be about a year. Just woke up. Who won? Metal Saviors and Cruciform. God bless the plutocratic vote. Cruciform won pretty. Cruciform and Metal Saviors won by a pretty good amount. One a little bit more than one with a little bit more legitimacy behind it than the other. However, so yeah, just to kind of give you the a little bit of the idea there. Those are our two victory laps. Now, if you excuse me for a second, think of any questions, comments, concerns you have for these. I am going to get another drink. Hello, I'm back. It's me. It's got to appeal to the, there we go. But yes, anyone has any comments, now's the time to ask. Generally speaking, oh man, readjust my life here. Generally speaking, I feel pretty decent about both of these. Generally, how the format though is going to be, how the format of these are going to be. The current situation with someone the generally speaking, I feel pretty decent about both of them. If we really want to be just at the end of the day, I feel good about both of them. Both of them have a pretty solid foundation to work off of. What will most likely occur, though, how we're going to be, I guess the best way to think about it is how we're going to be organizing this, is I am going to be spending effectively bursts of 2 weeks on it. I am about it's pretty much going to be like a week of working on this normal project, week working, and we're going to be working on it pretty consistently throughout. It's not every time it's going to be a stream about it. There will be other projects in the background. Well, not even the background. It will be always being worked on in the background. And the reason why I'm doing this is so I don't get... Solid did drop a 50 on that. He dropped 60 on it, thank you very much. Generally, we're going to be working on the projects as normal. It's just you're going to have the staggered approach to things. Everything's going to be a little bit more 1, 2, 3. We're going to be, it's like, okay, finish a project. Here's a week where we dedicate exclusively to the winner. 1, 2, normal project. Here's a week we dedicate exclusively to the winner. And that's just how it's going to be done. A couple reasons why to do that, mostly based off of just keeping my sanity there so I don't get burnt out as fast. After we get back, Fortissimo, we're going to grind on Fortissimo pretty extensively tonight. Not tonight. We're going to grind a little bit on Fortissimo tomorrow. I have the rest of Fortissimo actually written out. I know how to do it. Once we, honest to God, runes are finished. We finished runes. Once we get that done, tomorrow we are going to blitz through the entirety of the phase system and try to get as much as combat done as possible. Once that's done, it's really just advancement. It's after the phase system is done, it's pretty much just advancement as the only real strong mechanical consideration. After that, it would be a lot of just that's the kind of game where it needs testing. It needs people to make characters. It needs people to understand how things go and to ask questions to be added. I can only see so much. I'm a simple man. I have simple eyes. Once that's done, we're going to what'll probably happen then is I am going to open up commissions again. Once we open up commissions again, I'm going to open up another patron. I'm going to open up another vote, and that vote is going to be our current setup. It's only going to be 3 games. 3 games. If we time things out, if we roughly assume every game, every project is about two weeks, 6 sessions, 6 to 7 streams. You're gonna be resting. You're gonna finally install your AC and rest of your junk in your new house. I installed my AC today, actually. It was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. Installed everything, and it works pretty well. It's in my... You don't hear it in here. Hopefully you don't hear it anyway, because it's in my living room. Because if my living room's cooled down, my entire house gets cooled down. It's not working terribly well, but I like the idea is what counts. But one thing you got to remember, Draco, is I'm not going to be resting. On Thursday, I am getting on a plane and I am going down to the Florida Keys. This is not resting. This is a... Okay, good. This is not resting. This is panicking. But yeah, so roughly speaking, every project is about 2 weeks. And if we do every 2 weeks, so if I'm thinking if we have three patron projects and we have 5 commissions, let's just max ourselves out. Roughly speaking, that is roughly speaking, that's about 16 weeks. That's quite a lot of time. However, that is 8 games. You know, if we do the full thing, and pretty much it would be we only accept up to 5 commissions at any time. I'm even thinking about debating just bringing up 4 commissions at a time. So it would be a patron, 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 So we would end up doing this in a constant cycle. I keep getting threatened with additional, commissions, so I've been getting a little bit like, uh-oh. Oh god, there's a lot of commissions to do. If we add it into the Obsession project in the middle, that's just going to be adding on to that. That's just going to be adding on to those turnaround times. Hopefully it goes well. It kind of depends on the situation. It's the nature of the beast. Da 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 da. I hope you set the final vote. I will set the final vote. Here, you know what I'll even do? I'll make sure that everyone's represented. We'll make the vote right now, everyone. You ready to make the vote? It's Whoa, whoa, whoa. Ultimate voting nightmare for the Patriot. Let's see, for the miserable, for the lowly proletariat, choose from each of these categories. One will live, one will emerge victorious. Life, death, democracy demands sacrifice. Democracy demands blood. Mm. Mm. Let's do, yep, we'll do May 30th. Mm. Mm. Let's actually want to do mm. 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 This is a required vote. We're going to add a question. Ba da da do do do. Mm. 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 Oh god. Lots of blood in both camps. Just a Discord. Just make a Discord poll for the pleb. That's gay. People are gonna probably miss it. Boyd's voter prop. A bit unrelated, but how many games did you make? Have you actually gotten to play yourself? Not many. Because while I love my friends and I adore them greatly, my friends are incredible normies. And one of the things that I make a very active point about is I don't really like testing my own games. I don't like testing it very much because I see faults with things way more than other people will. I get very, very. I'm the kind of person who tested a game out of his, and I wanted to rewrite the entire combat system halfway through the first combat. I get very weird about it. Yeah, but generally speaking, I think just putting in an email address, the thing is, it is, how do I want to word it? Putting in a completely different email you know what? Because you've said that, McDrewsall, here's what I'm going to say. We're going to be a verified email. Going to be a verified email, so you have to put in a Google email. So let's see how this... I just want to check to see how this looks on... Let's see. Let's see how this looks on... Okay. So you would have to sign in. Okay. Actually, no, what we can do here, if I notice like abc dot, if I notice like abcmail.com or whatever, I can just throw them out. That's the best part. So I think that is a compromise. That is a suitable compromise. Don't you all agree? Mostly because it would not be as easy to set up it would not be as simple to set up a bullshit email constantly and do it if you want to set up a bot to do it, if that makes sense. If you are doing that via bot, it's going to be a lot more complicated. Versus... it would be a lot more complicated versus, hey, I want to make this as its own than what it was, kind of thing.
Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Fucking June, and why do I have jingle bells going through my head? What cursed existence do I live in that I have jingle bells going through my head? What hell have I entered? God help me. Is this brain rot? Am I dying? This is what they talk about when they talk about dying dreams and shit. Is this it? Are you even important enough to get botted? Does it get this bad? Yes, it did. So, this was the, no, that was the patron vote. Now, this was the, as you notice, we got 193 responses. To give you an idea, all of these were one set of votes that were exactly the same. And if you notice, they are all 1 second right after each other. Yes, there were 50 of them. Yes, 50 votes came in literally within 1 second of one another at a rhythmic pace. We had some doubts earlier up here as well, because there was this sudden, like, swarm of votes for the exact same thing for seemingly no reason, all within a relatively close, close thing of one another. So yeah, it got a little bit hectic there. Holy shit, that is a proper bot attack. Why though? I don't know. Honest to God, I do not know. I can only guess someone felt like their thing was not getting represented properly. So like, oh, well, he won't notice if you get 193 votes in something that didn't get 60 before. Like, yeah, I was like, no. I thought about just deleting the votes, but I'm like, no, the sanctity of the vote has been compromised. The sanctity of the vote has been compromised. Therefore, we were unable to continue with it. So it came down to just the patrons and whoever donated. Yep, whoever donated by giving me money to pay for votes. It's great. Imagine being... I don't know who it is. I don't really know why they would do such a thing. Because I thought we were having fun. I thought it was a fun time for everybody.
but someone decided to do that for whatever reason. That is the nature of it, and that's kind of the problem. Paying for votes, how American. Hey, we don't pay for votes here. We pay for lobbying action that directly contributes to votes. Very different, thank you very much. Here, no, it's just straight plutocratic action. You pay me for votes. The American government is a flawless system that runs exclusively off lobbying. People are posting cringe. So yeah, this is the proletariat have their vote now. Let's Did you violate democracy? Yes, no. Plutocracy reigns supreme. There we go. Subtle hint. Joy. They'll never see it coming. All right. Let's put the vote out. People are just still issuing death threats against Solid. Oh no, Maho Shoujo Manly, whatever shall we do? Maho Shoujo Manly's fucking dead. Let's see. Let's do this right. We gotta do everything correctly. Let's see. We want to hit Pole Town. We want to go here. We need to make... Oh. Actually, you know what I could do? I could just use what we used today. Put this right here. Hit that button. We hit that one. Put that right there. Let's go to the Patreon. Let's go to the Patreon where you too can join me and pay me money every month to be referred to as a plutocrat at the end of videos that usually gets cut off because I get mauled by a tiger or something. And plutocracy will never die. Everyone hates Solid because he dropped $60 on making Cruciform win. Literally, this death threat thing has escalated to the point of hilarity. You know what? I support Solid. Because he's made something hilarious, and that's all that matters. I don't know, I don't like this man. Better pull out the pedophilia accusation! Ah, what a day. What a beautiful day. I love democracy. I love democracy so much. It's my favorite. It's my favorite form of emotional torment. Mm. Mm-hmm. The final vote. One final vote. Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Where? Okay, so we double checked all of this. We do the Obsession project. We do Notepad RL, Notepad Anon. Mm. Time to spread anarchy today. Mm. There we are. Notepad, you posted the proletariat one in the paid members channel. What are you talking about? Proletariat. Proletariat. Let's check the page. See, now you got me a little paranoid. Because no, I didn't. Okay, good. No, I'm good. Proletariat, proletariat. Yep, okay, we're good. We are Gucci. There we go. So, welcome to damn dude collected the royal flush of hateability. The vote begins. Democracy manifests. God bless democracy. God bless America. So, any final questions, any final situations that we want to discuss or muse about? Now is the time to ask. Nothing really got done today, but hey, you know, it's okay. Things not getting done today. We had a nice little chat. Sometimes that's all you need to have happen is a nice little chat. And let's see, is there anything else fun and exciting? No, I don't believe there is anything else fun and exciting. So have a wonderful rest of your day, I guess. If anyone has any final questions, please @ me in the Discord. I am always available. More questions, the merrier. If you ask questions, I will be able to answer them. If you ask questions I don't think about, I may be able to answer them if I don't have an answer. So, how will you remedy Solid's disruption of the community? You hate him because he paid. None of you would bitch and none of you would moan if he put 60 on Flag Bearer. None of you would. You would be cheering him. So no, he did exactly what he said he would do. Yes, and Solid rolled in, dropped to 60, and that was it. You've always known this was an option. This is the thing. I've always said this is an option. Oh god, viewers at home cannot see the pure vitriol currently going down in this chat. He voted with his wallet, and he voted a way that you did not appreciate, therefore he is wrong in your eyes. He voted like what everyone else voted. He voted with his wallet. And while the patrons enjoy their luxury, Solid's out $60. That's as simple as seeing it. So I'm gonna call it there if we're just going to insult Solid some more. Rat-a-tat is seeking dick no less. But we're gonna call it there. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Godspeed. good luck. Tomorrow we will work on Fortissimo. It'll probably be an earlier stream. Not gonna lie, tomorrow will probably be a very early stream, and it's going to be kind of a little bit, I wouldn't say chaotic, but it's going to be kind of a little bit of an odd one, because I'm going to be working on a lot of little things with that. So, thank you all. Love you all. Kissu kissu. And God bless democracy.